Most Nigerians are under the age of 20, and to see a crop of our young people take their own destiny into their own hands and determine what they want their democracies to look like was most refreshing. It's amazing how organized those protests were, from the streets of Lagos to Abuja to Port Harcourt, all through Nigeria, reverberating across the globe in a single cry: end SARS, end SARS. Day, night, selflessly, Nigerians gave to a cause their whole being, believing that this was the tipping point for good governance in Nigeria. And I still believe it is. In spite of all the things that went wrong in the past few weeks, I believe that it is that pivotal moment in time that shows you what Nigeria can and will be. And that gives me courage. That gives me a lot of courage to continue to do what I do on a daily basis, both as leading a civil society organization and as a writer.
Gerade jetzt geht vielen von uns sicherlich ein Stück weit auch die Hoffnung verloren, wo so viele Dinge angegriffen werden, von denen wir dachten, die haben wir erreicht, sei es zum Beispiel die Frauenrechte in Polen oder sei es Demokratie, sei es Rechtsstaatlichkeit. So viele Dinge stehen unter Attacke. Aber gerade dann ist es wichtig, dass wir zusammenstehen, dass wir für diese Dinge einstehen, dass wir für sie kämpfen, dass wir uns nicht auf erreichten Lorbeeren ausruhen, sondern dass wir nach wie vor zeigen und sagen, wie wichtig diese Dinge sind und dass wir jeden Tag dafür eintreten. Das braucht viel Kraft. Das braucht viel Energie, das jeden Tag aufs Neue zu tun. Ich bin wirklich begeistert und beeindruckt von den vielen Leuten, die das tun, zum Beispiel in Polen oder auch die ganze Zeit jetzt in den USA. Und es zeigt sich eben doch, das hat Resultate. Es braucht aber einen langen Atem. Es ist ein Marathon eher als ein Sprint.
What gives me courage and motivation to move on? Well, seeing Dziewuchy, so Girls for Girls, Polish Women's Strike, protesters, people that are not associated but simply take it to streets in such a massive manner, that gives me a lot of power. Secondly, seeing top politicians, people that have political impact, being there with us and taking initiative. Thirdly, hearing slogans in my own Polish language getting mixed with those in German, French, English, and Hungarian. And then, last but not least, being a part of my local feminist Polish group here in Berlin, where I currently live, because Dziewuchy Berlin, Girls for Girls, Berlin allow me to put my hands into the matter.
A democracy that does not reflect the wills and the aspiration of its people is not a democracy. And as with most fledgling democracies, Nigerians have dreams and hopes, and the most basic of which is dignity. Dignity, a word that is often taken for granted, a word on which all democracies must be built. Truths that must be affirmed, both on the side of the state and of the governed. I think the best thing that's happened to Nigeria in the past 10 years, and particularly this year in spite of COVID, was the End SARS movement. It was an organic movement of citizens. It was rich, it was ripe. It was citizens demanding accountability of their own democracy. It was holding of a mirror to the face of a country to ask, is this what we aspire to be? And is that what we have become? It was a voting with feet and with placards, both digitally and on the streets of Nigeria.
Gerade in der Europäischen Union haben wir so viele Herausforderungen, wo eben nicht klar ist, was für eine Werteunion sind wir eigentlich, wo verschiedene Regierungen Menschenrechte mit Füßen treten, wo Rechtsstaatlichkeit ausgehebelt wird. Das sind Dinge, für die müssen wir kämpfen, dass dort Demokratie nicht weiter abgebaut wird und dass sie aber noch weiter ausgebaut wird. Es wird nicht einfach sein, das zu erreichen, und manchmal fragt man sich, ob wir nicht schon viel weiter sein müssten in den letzten Jahrzehnten, aber es bleibt viel zu tun. Es ist jetzt auch das zu tun, was zu tun ist, und es bleibt einfach dabei, nicht aufgeben, weitermachen, stark bleiben, stark dabei bleiben. Wir haben viele Verbündete überall auf der gesamten Welt und wir müssen enger zusammenstehen, wir müssen gemeinsam für unsere Rechte eintreten, denn sonst wird es niemand für uns tun.
I think that Europe should amplify these young voices. More than half of Nigeria's population is under the age of 20. They will be one of the largest populations across the world in the next 20 years. The question of what will define the new world order is what happens with the young people of Nigeria in the next 20 years. Europe can help to define that, help in holding our governments accountable, help in ensuring that corruption ends, help in ensuring that dignity and human rights are respected on this continent, help in ensuring that human rights defenders are able to boldly stand shoulder to shoulder on the streets of Nigeria, as we've seen in the month of October, and demand end SARS and start dignity. Thank you.
I would say three things. I thought about three things. First, the free movement. Let people of Europe, or help people of Europe, move, reside, love, vote more freely. I think this is what the EU stands for, isn't it? Secondly, don't be afraid to stand for the European values, because as you can see, then these values then translate into the norms we live in. They dictate the conditions that we live in, that we as citizens are put into.